You are now listening to Mr. ZBlackneffect.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. And yeah, y'all. So we're starting this off with some serious rage bait. So the title is correct. It is rage bait content. We just coming out straight out swinging. But it's also to inform those of you who think we're picking and choosing, and that's why I have this kind of circular definition of rage bait on the screen. So we gonna get to it, right? That's number one. Number two, for all of the blue pill folks that might fall into this, the algorithm might suggest it. Probably not gonna happen, but the algorithm might suggest it. For all you technocrats who the algorithm might suggest it, probably not. But either way, for those of you that think that we're playing over here or it's just weirdo commentary from a bunch of, we're just gonna say the word, from a bunch of incels, right? We'll show you. And anyway, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. And let's just get right underway. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Continuing.
This trend of women talking about the reason why they're dating their boyfriends, and it's like, he has an Amex, or like his family has a vacation home in Italy or whatever. And there's like all these men like crying in the comment section, like, all these women are so shallow, they're only gonna go for chads, they're only gonna go for like wealthy men, like blah blah blah, like just like coming for these girls, right? For being like, no, I like the fact that my man has money. It's so funny when they kind of present this as like a gotcha to like say how shallow women are, because like, well, yes, like of course women are gonna care about money. Like it was a very 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 recent development that a woman could even like open up a bank account on her own. Like my own mother, when she got a visa to come to America, like my father had to sign off on it. He wasn't getting on a plane. Like he just had to like give her permission to leave. You know, like this is our mother's generation that were, you know, barely able to, like, just starting to be able to get an education, build a career, like have any sort of true financial economic independence. Like for a woman, advancing economically, being able to secure wealth for yourself and your children was entirely tied to like who you picked as a man. You know what I mean? Like a good mother was going to be teaching her daughter how to find a wealthy man, because that's how you secure your daughter's future. It wasn't like a pick me thing. It was like, this is literally your only option. So like that thought process and that way of like training women to understand that like men are your path to security, like that's not going to go away because, you know, we've secured better laws. It's phenomenal, and I hope in the future that like we can care more about like love and connection and blah blah blah, and like not care as much about money. But like, of course, that thought process is still going to be there. Y'all made this. You made your bed, now lay in it.
Oh. And we're back. My apologies, y'all. Hopefully there won't be no more interruptions. Actually, we got a small one for like a minute later in a couple minutes, but for now we're good. I'm sorry about that. That intro. We're gonna play that again. We're gonna play that rage baiting ass video again. And my apologies for this for that weird start. Reckless, at least for a little bit longer. Don't put it in the comments. Anyway, let's do this. And I have a lot to say about what this young lady is saying and her whole demeanor and attitude. I think Saint Cyr knows her Instagram handle. Saint Cyr, if you don't mind dropping that in the comments, please and thank you. Um, so yeah, let's mention this. Yeah, we're gonna play it again, y'all, so I can get my commentary together. Continuing.
This trend of women talking about the reason why they're dating their boyfriends, and it's like he has an Amex, or like his family has a vacation home in Italy or whatever, and there's like all these men like crying in the comment section like, all these women are so shallow, they're only gonna go for chads, they're only gonna go for like wealthy men, like blah blah blah, like just like coming for these girls, right, for being like, no, I like the fact that my man has money. It's so funny when they kind of present this as like a gotcha to like say how shallow women are, because like, well, yes, like of course women are gonna care about money. Like it was a very 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 recent development that a woman could even like open up a bank account on her own. Like my own mother, when she got a visa to come to America, like my father had to sign off on it. He wasn't getting on a plane. Like he just had to like give her permission to leave. You know, like this is our mother's generation that were, you know, barely able to, like, just starting to be able to get, you know, get an education, build a career, like have any sort of true financial economic independence. Like for a woman, advancing economically, being able to secure wealth for yourself and your children, was entirely tied to like who you picked as a man. You know what I mean? Like a good mother was.
Z, you still there? No, we're still here. We're still here. So homegirl is a deeply melanated, white-coated black woman, first-generation American. From my understanding, Saint Cyr, isn't she some type of LGBTQ? And you think you saying something. Once again, this, and I've made mention of this before, this cosmic justice, cosmic retribution. Isn't this the world that created? And you watch straight women engage in this, you watch LGBTQ women engage in this. The difference is straight women got to eat the consequences of that kind of weirdo talk and that snarky get back framing, right? That cosmic retribution, cosmic justice framing. LGBTQ women, on the other hand, they get to engage in the five chuckles at your expense, but then skate and engage in their same-sex loving relationships, ducking and dodging fist and feet. Anyway, so here you have this, and be warned, Mr. Z did say rage bait, right? So as you can see, continental African, sassy, snarky, that kind of get back attitude. And it's always this framing, right? This is the world y'all created. Imagine this, everyone. Working class men, everyday salt of the earth working class men. This is the world we created. Make it worse. Black men. Huh? I'm gonna play it again, BGS, and BGS says, what the F is she talking about? Right. And Inspired Truth says it's the enunciation. Super Valley Girl. Yeah, yawn. Nothing funnier than these white-coated black women, especially these recent immigrant, especially continental African, recent immigrant, white-coated black women who adopt the narrative of white women. Down with the patriarchy, yawn. Meanwhile, she's a whole black woman in a majority white nation, and she's LGBTQ, and she thinks she's doing something. Madam, you are who they need you to be. Huh? You are a first-generation continental African black woman, deeply melanated, LGBTQ, mocking straight men. You and your average racist white woman is different how? You in your average classist, elitist white woman is different. How? What? The skin tone? And that's about it. Oh, and the consequences of your weirdo worldview being a black woman in America. That too. We'll get to that. Just live a little longer. You'll get to that. You're going to get punched in the face with the fact that you. Oh, wait a minute. You already got punched in the face with you're not a white woman. That's why you're LGBTQ. Which one of the brats broke your heart? Ooh, Z. Z, why you have to go right to it? We know it. Which one of the brads in middle school or high school, maybe college, broke your heart and you realized you wasn't going to get what you wanted to get? Uh-oh. Is that why you're waging this gender war against men? Probably black men in specific. But men? Huh? Yikes. So this rage bait is inspired by, as Saint Cyr informed us, this young lady, what's her name? Paris? I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. Right? It's always one of these weirdos. They are who we thought they were. Another continental African. If you hear how she speaks, you see her mannerisms. Yeah, we know what this is. You're a failed white woman. God damn, Z, I'm going right to it. Y'all know what this is. We done seen this before. We got a couple of cousins like this. They divorced their white husbands. Now they're LGBTQ. They would have passed around for white boys. Now they're LGBTQ. They didn't get the type of white or non-black man that they wanted. Now they're LGBTQ. Now they're feminist. Right? Or they're air quotes feminist while chasing after white peen, failing at ending up with who they want to end up with, which makes them even more radical feminist. You got a cousin like this, maybe a sister like this. Oh boy. Huh? And she hides her. And by the way, Paris mentioned this before, which is funny because she's describing herself. They're really feminist and they really engage in this gender war because the man that they want, the type of man that they find attractive, don't mess with them like that. They don't like them like that. They don't find them attractive like that. She's invisible to those type of men. Ain't that right, Paris? Yeah, failed racial hypergamy, everyone. Continuing, play it again. Here you go, BGS.
This trend of women talking about the reason why they're dating their boyfriends, and it's like, he has an Amex, or like his family has a vacation home in Italy or whatever, and there's like all these men like crying in the comment section, like, all these women are so shallow, they're only gonna go for chads, they're only gonna go for like wealthy men, like blah blah blah, like just like coming for these girls, right? For being like, no, I like the fact that my man has money. It's so funny when they kind of present this as like a gotcha to like say how shallow women are, because like, well, yes, like of course women are gonna care about money. Like it was a very 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 recent development that a woman could even like open up a bank account on her own. Like my own mother, when she got a visa to come to America, like my father had to sign off on it.
Look at the sass, y'all. Look at the sass.
Like, give her permission to leave.
She's jizzing herself right now.
This is our mother's generation that were, you know, barely able to, like, just starting to be able to get an education, build a career, like, have any sort of true financial economic independence. Like, for a woman, advancing economically, being able to secure wealth for yourself and your children, was entirely tied to, like, who you picked as a man. You know what I mean? Like, a good mother was going to be teaching her daughter how to find a wealthy man, because that's how you secure your daughter's future. It wasn't like a pick-me thing. It was like, this is literally your only option. So like that thought process and that way of like training women to understand that like men are your path to security, like that's not going to go away because, you know, we've secured better laws. It's phenomenal, and I hope in the future that like we can care more about like love and connection and blah blah blah, and like not care as much about money. But like, of course that thought process is still going to be there. Y'all made this. You made your bed, not lay in it.
Once again, you made your bed, not laying it is really directed to the type of white dudes that she finds attractive that didn't choose her. She's not saying that to all of us. She's definitely not saying that to the brothers, but you'll do. Dear black men, you'll do But really, she's directing that to the white dudes that didn't choose up on her. That's number one. Number two, y'all notice she was damn near having an orgasm, mentioning how the men were being or raging out at noticing why women mess with the men that they mess with, why women are with the boyfriends that they're with, why women are with the husbands that they're with. And yes, it came off shallow, and she's getting off on that. Aren't you angry? Are you're not? Are you angry? Oh yeah, look, everybody, look, they're raging out. Oh yes. Y'all notice when white folks like to enrage black folks and then say, "Oh look, they're chimping out." She's doing the same thing. She's doing the same thing, and this lets you know her level of anger that her Brad didn't choose up on her. That's all it is. Transference. That's all it is. She's just trying to transfer that anger that Brad ain't choose up on her. We know. We know. No, ma'am, you don't have to admit it to us. We already know. Huh? She's jizzing her panties talking about this. Damn near catching orgasms. Damn near her eyes rolling in the back of her head. And this, everyone, for all of you, especially first-gen Americans, all you first-gen Americans, y'all send y'all kids to these schools, rightfully so, safer schools, higher rated, B schools, A schools. I get it. I get it, right? Higher likeliness that your kid graduates, higher likeliness that your kid gets into a better school. I get it. But your daughter turns out like this. Your daughter turns out like this, LGBTQ, probably not going to give you a kid, white coated as hell, gender warring on the internet. Well, damn. What was the point then? Huh? What was the point? You left Kenya, you left Chad, you left the Congo, you left Nigeria, you left South Africa, you left Angola, huh? You left Niger, Burkina Faso, I could do this all day. Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, huh? Zimbabwe. You left that country to come to America, and this is your daughter. You had your daughter here. Now your daughter's essentially a chocolate-dipped white woman who's sexist and anti-black man. Well, damn. Oh, yeah, and elitist and classist. You came here to give her a better life. This lady thinks she a damn... Well, better yet, she doesn't think she's a white woman. She's been rudely reminded that she's not a white woman, and so she's raging out, hiding behind feminism. Well, damn. Huh? All of that work. And this is your daughter on the internet. A failed white woman. I said it the right way the first time. Huh? A failed white woman. What was the name of homegirl from the Danish Deception? Another one. A failed white woman. Y'all have these daughters, and they raging out and now they same-sex loving because the Brad that they wanted isn't interested. The type of Brads that they want aren't interested. Put them on the carousel, pipe a few times, toss her to the next white dude. Put her on the carousel, pipe a few times, toss her to the next white dude. Pogo stick up and down her esophagus, pass her to the next white dude. She get passed around 2, 3, 5, 7 times. Get a little heartbroken 2, 3, 5, 7 times. Now she LGBTQ. Get out of here. If you live in LA, New York, Miami, Minnesota, DC, we all met them. Atlanta, somewhere in Houston, maybe Dallas, we all met them. Especially the continental African sisters, but some of the Caribbean ones too. They get their little feelings hurt in middle school, high school, maybe college, because the Brad they want don't want them. And now they swear off men. Mr. Z rhyming. Huh? Man. And Saint Cyr says, oh yeah, they heavy in Dallas. The Nigerians are out there deep. I'm saying. It's it's so predictable. They get their little feelings hurt. Whether the guy broke their heart directly because they was in a situationship with him, or they get their little heart broken because they see what he's attracted to, and it don't got nothing to do with them. Homegirl don't look nothing like what she looked like. White dudes into brunette green eyes or blonde blue eyes. She met another white dude. Brunette green eyes, blonde blue eyes. She met another white dude. Goddamn. Brunette green eyes, blonde blue eyes. She met another white dude. Latina. Goddamn. She met another white dude. Asian. Another white dude. Asian girl. Another white dude. Asian girl. Yeah. After that, she sweat him off. It's simple. But everyone, she's trying to rage bait you. Dear men, black men in specific, even though her issue isn't with black men, because she ain't trying to go after one of you. Now you can still get this smoke, but it's really not about you. She's really angry that the Brad that she want don't want her. So she's rage baiting the men because the type of men she wants are not interested. That doesn't mean that she won't sneaky link with you, or better yet, that does not mean that the man that she wants won't sneaky link with her, maybe, possibly. But that's as far as you go, and she know it. She's angry about it. Huh? Homegirl that we covered a few years ago, with a Brad, the frat bro Brad, piped on her first season, then ghosted her ass. Right? It's actually sad. Then these women swear off men. They think they're doing something, then they swear off men. That now they're feminist, now they're radical feminist, now they're same-sex loving. Yawn. Huh? So yes, dear men, dear black men in the black manosphere, the women will rage bait you. They'll never let you know. Every once in a while they'll slip up, and Mr. Z's ready for it. That's why I save it every time they give you their origin story. These women be giving you their villain origin story, but not consciously. They let it slip. You better hurry up, and for all of you, whenever these women slip up and give you their villain origin story, send it to Z ASAP and say it. Z, she finally said it. Send it to my email. Send it to Z. I will capture it. I will save it, and that goes into the archive. Why does that matter? To emphasize to those, whatever random person's listening, that these ladies don't mean what they say. They're not about female empowerment, unless female empowerment looks like standing on the heads of the men in the middle of the street because who they wanted didn't want them. If that's what female empowerment looks like, and oftentimes that's what it looks like, then yeah, I guess. But these women have these weird villain origin stories. I guess that's why they say the personal is political. That's what they really mean. The man I wanted didn't want me, or the man I wanted wouldn't behave the way I wanted him to behave. So the personal is political, so I'm a feminist now. Right? Or I'm a feminist. The men I find attractive won't just be my paymaster and shut the hell up. So I'm a radical feminist now because he won't be my paymaster and my overglorified guard dog and shut the hell up. Well, damn. Huh? So we got a new Paris, everyone. So I guess Paris Milan's out the window. We got a new Paris. We're just going to call her Paris M because I cannot pronounce her last name. I guess I'll go find her TikTok and hear her pronounce her last name, and then we'll go from there. Huh? The lady thinks she's saying something to, ma'am, you are typical. There is nothing to see here, everyone. Nothing to see here. Typical as hell. You're not saying nothing new or novel. Another rage baiting ass woman who's angry that the brand that she wants. This is a failed swirler. If you ever seen one, this is what they look like. Failed swirler as hell. And all she does is post the rage bait content online, on TikTok especially. Right? Oh boy. I like this quote. And Ainu says she just wants attention. The blanket of infamy is warmth to some. Yeah. Yep. And I'm gonna check that out in 1 second. And Brooklyn's Finest says, Z, I just sent you an email that I think might go with this. Prepare thyself. I'll check it. I'll give me 1 second. As a matter of fact, y'all give me 1 second. Let's do this now. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and we're gonna play this now. Y'all give me a second. And we're back. Oh, wow. Okay. And Earl says she also has a YouTube. Okay. All right. Miss Paris M. And accompanying that video of Miss Paris M, and shout out to Brooklyn's Finest, right? Let's play this. This was Mr. Z's first time playing it. So let's see what Brooklyn got us. So hopefully we don't get flagged. Hopefully Brooklyn Finest isn't an agent trying to take down Mr. Z's channel. Now I'm playing. Here we go.
Protect. Agreed. Everything that you have.
If you're a woman that is focused on making more, having your own career, bringing in your own money, absolutely. I think, okay, so this is going to be my hot take. And no shade to either.
We're only 3 minutes in.
I know. I think marriage is for broke bitches.
Oh.
And so I think a woman who wants to be married is leaning more into the patriarchy and wants to be essentially, possibly taken care of, have their man as the leader. All of the ideals for me of what marriage looks like is that. So I just saw my friends recently this weekend. She was like, did you want to be married? And I literally said, yeah, when I was poor. As a woman who can now like provide for herself, also doesn't want motherhood, and also sees a lot of these celebrity women now having to continue working because they have to pay alimony. I mean, we have even podcasters now paying alimony. Shout out to Rachel Lindsay. Like, there's all of these people that once you make a certain amount of money, if your man doesn't, you have to pay them out. And I just don't want to be that.
That's a take.
I don't want to be that.
But you also start.
You know, I agree with her. Ooh, Z, I agree with her. Marriage is for poor women and working class women and middle class women. Ooh, and rich women and wealthy women. Unfortunately, the people that are getting married and staying married aren't the poor women. It's the rich and wealthy women. The middle class women and the closer to middle class but working class women marry and then get divorced. And then the working class, solidly working class, and working poor women don't get married at all. They have their children out of wedlock, if ever have children. But she's right. Marriage is for poor women and all the other women too. How else are y'all gonna make it? Oops. See, Mandy B, it sounds good what she's saying, but most millionaire women are millionaire women because of that husband of theirs. Oops. Sounds good. Not to mention, leave it to a woman to justify whatever position she is in life. If she's poor, then being poor isn't the worst thing in the world because of her feelings. If she's rich, then you poor yitches, hey, that's what you get because I don't need a man because she don't got a man. If she's an asshole, why don't you end up with asshole women? If she's a nice woman, then why are the nice women, the single women, and the asshole women are the ones with the men? Leave it to a woman whatever position she is in life is the position to be in. Huh? Notice you can hear the tinge of like resentment that people keep on mentioning marriage to her, which is like, marriage is for broke bitches. Well, Mandy B, I don't know if you notice, most women are broke bitches. Once again, 60% of Americans cannot afford $1,000 emergency. 40% of Americans can afford a $500 emergency. In other words, most women are broke bitches. So you're saying marriage is for most women. What a roundabout, sassy, snarky, smug way of saying marriage is for most women. Huh? Dear America, if you want to know what happened to your birth rate, women like Mandy B happened to your birth rate. When I said give them autonomy or give them death, here you go. Give them negative liberty or give them death, here you go. Shout out to Mandy B. Great find, Brooklyn's finest. Great find. Huh? This ties perfectly. And this, for everyone pretending like y'all don't appreciate why Gen Z men are staying the absolute hell away from Gen Z women. Why many millennial men are staying the hell away from millennial and Gen Z women and X women and all women. Not that they're LGBTQ, but this is what they have to look forward to, Mr. Z Robin. It's because this is what they have to look forward to. This is what they have to look forward to. Talk about rage bait. Huh? And Afro Merchant says, Z, you saying single women equal poor? Yes, especially in the black community. Huh? And we have the data to back that up. Z, you're not going to play the same old tire clip again.
Because ain't nobody trying to be 60 and broke. I'm going to keep it a buck. The data in this chart sucks, but there's hope. So the data in this chart suggests that Black women who have a degree but are single at 60 have a net worth of $11,000, which, as we know, that's just not enough to live off of. Whereas if you're married and have a college degree at 60, you have a net worth of around $424,000. And the reason why I say this sucks is because I don't particularly like something that is beyond my control to be able to impact the quality of my life. Like, it's literally not within our control if we're married at 60. I mean, we have influence on that, but it's like, it's 50-50, right? It takes two to tango. And so that does suck. However,
Huh? So let's be clear. Black women especially don't get on our program. They don't get on Black men's program. Cool. They listen to women like Mandy B. They do whatever the hell they want to do. Nothing wrong with that. Autonomy to death. Negative liberty to death. Cool. And then they end up how? How do they end up? How does this look in the wash? Approaching retirement age, college-educated Black women, wealth of $11,000. So Mandy is correct. Yes, marriage is for poor yitches, and all of them. All classes of women, all races of women. You not gonna be able to tough it out on your own. These outliers don't make it look like it though, but they little mean, snarky asses. It sound good, Mandy. Huh? Marriage is for poor yitches. Which one of y'all is not poor? You and a handful of other Black entertainers. Y'all one mess up away. Y'all one investment away from working at Walmart. I want y'all to appreciate her anger was not necessarily all the way directed to the men. It's all the other way. So you won't get married, girl? You're not dating, girl? Listen to her again. Let's play it again.
Protect. Agreed. Everything that you have.
If you're a woman that is focused on making more, having your own career, bringing in your own money, absolutely. I think, okay, so this is going to be my hot take. And no shade to either.
We're only 3 minutes in.
I know. I think marriage is for broke bitches.
Oh.
And so I think a woman who wants to be married is leaning more into the patriarchy and wants to be essentially, possibly taken care of, have their man as the leader. All of the ideals for me of what marriage looks like is that. So I just saw my friends recently.
And you're correct with your ideals, by the way, as it should be. The natural order of things, you are correct, madam. Huh? The taking care of, the man as your leader, you damn right, as it should be. Because what we will have is a whole bunch of failed versions of you, you know, without the money and the little internet fame. Wait a minute, wait. This just in. What? The Black community already has that? Okay. What? The Latin community has a bunch of that too? Okay. What? A lot of white women are doing that too? Okay. What? Increasingly, even East Asian women in America? Okay. You damn right. What happens to women when they're not on men's program? Poverty. Right? The thousand peen stare. Right? That's what happens. Continuing.
Protect. Agreed. Everything that you have.
If you're a woman that is focused on making more, having your own career, bringing in your own money, absolutely. I think, okay, so this is going to be my hot take. And no shade to either.
We're only 3 minutes in.
I know. I think marriage is for broke bitches.
Oh.
And so I think a woman who wants to be married is leaning more into the patriarchy and wants to be essentially, possibly taken care of, have their man as the leader. All of the ideals for me of what marriage looks like is that. So I just saw my friends recently this weekend. She was like, did you want to be married? And I literally said, yeah, when I was poor. As a woman who can now like provide for herself, also doesn't want motherhood, and also sees a lot of these celebrity women now having to continue working because they have to pay alimony. I mean, we have even podcasters now paying alimony. Shout out to Rachel Lindsay. Like, there's all of these people that once you make a certain amount of money, if your man doesn't, you have to pay them out. And I just don't want to be that.
That's a take.
I don't want to be that.
But you also start.
You know, I don't fault her for not wanting to be married. I think it is actually, to be honest with you, I think it is noble of her, not noble, Z, that's a big word. I think it is noble of her to back out of the entire institution, especially if she doesn't want to have children. And I appreciate that she knows that, A, when marriage is going to come being on a man's program in male leadership. So if she doesn't want to have children, as she said to us, then it's perfectly okay if she forgoes marriage. But what did she mention afterward? She sees all these celebrities, female celebrities who have to fork out money at the end of a divorce. Wait a minute, didn't women fight for that? Wait, didn't women fight for that? Alimony, didn't women fight for that? And let's be clear, unlike with what Paris was saying, this wasn't just elite women fighting for that. This was women as a whole fighting for, if I got accustomed to a lifestyle because of marriage with you, if I got accustomed to a lifestyle or I was a stay-at-home parent, in this case, with the women, stay-at-home mother, or if I was the one who wasn't so ambitious, played my career to the side, didn't go for promotion so I can be the primary caretaker of the children. If we get divorced, I need some of that check. Didn't the women argue for this? So when it's the men, oh, we just supposed to shut up and take it and go move in with our parents or go moving into some Roach Motel ass apartment. So Mandy does have a problem with this part of equality, as other women do, because y'all are hypocrites and full of crap. Huh? So Mandy is saying marriage is for broke bitches. No, Mandy, marriage is for all women. As a matter of fact, who has the highest marriage rate, lowest divorce rate, and most wealth are the married women at the top. Yeah. The married women at the top. Huh? I'm pretty sure the wife or the widow of whatever Walton that is, when a wife became a billionaire because the husband died, she married into the family, and then the husband died, and then she became the billionaire. I'm pretty sure she has some words for you, madam. Marriage isn't just for poor yitches. It's for all women. Look at the black community. I would like to direct you, I'm stealing this from Sarge Willie Pete. I would like to direct you to your nearest black community, to your nearest black neighborhood, and the poverty and the struggle. You know what, ma'am? I got one for you. Look at all the working class black women and even lower middle class black women and check their bank accounts and let me know if marriage isn't for all women. It's not just for the poor women. It's not just for the broke women, ma'am. Go check the bank accounts in the savings account for all of the black women in the air quotes middle class. Huh? If you doubt me. And No Hero says, COINTELPRO activity. You hear me? And let's be clear, it doesn't even have to be government funded. She's getting an envelope or a note or a text telling her exactly what to do and how to sabotage. It doesn't even have to be that. It's as simple as, this is where I am in my life. So to justify it and to make me feel better about my current position, I'm gonna advocate, from this position. It's that simple. It's not, this is where I am in my life, but do what works for you. Or this is where I am in my life. It wouldn't behoove me to be married because I don't really care to be married because I don't care for children. And marriage is the institution mainly for the children and for the women who are going to have the children, so that we at least have something where this man is obligated to us in some way. He can't just knock us up and run. Instead of her having that conversation, she gives this kind of rage baiting, rage inducing. And let's be clear, there's a reason why they clipped this out. Come on, everyone. Social media and the internet been around for a couple decades now. For a few decades now, we know what rage bait content looks like. So she gives this take, and we get it, right? It's really a yawn fest and a snooze fest. And someone actually said it in the comments. Let me see if I can find that comment. Let's see if we can find that comment. There we go. And Saint Cyr said it. Hot take, and it's the most lukewarm room temperature IQ take ever. It's another, and I think Mandy is mixed race, but we just gonna say black. It's another black woman with the same old. Why get married? I mean, I got my own money, and marriage is for the loser. Broke bitches. Yawn. Another one of these worship at the altar of autonomy. Why get married? Why be on a man's program ass take from a black woman? This is like standard issue stuff here. Hot take, it's not a hot take, ma'am. Standard issue. Standard issue. Meanwhile, all the other women who talk like you, If we check their bank account, it's at zero. As a matter of fact, it's in the red. It's negative. Huh? She just got a bill taken out and she went into the negative yesterday. Huh? The other women who are a little bit better than her are hoping that the bill don't get taken out between the next 2-3 days. She's hoping that her direct deposit hits Wednesday early before the bill gets taken out Wednesday night, going into Thursday morning. Uh-oh. How many women did I just describe their life right now? Hot take. It's not a hot take, man. It's not a hot take. So between Paris M and this young lady, y'all wonder why the young men sound like this.
I'm not really attracted to women right now. And before you spam up, you're gay, never been gay, never will be. I'm not attracted to the ego in the majority of women. The mindset, the energy, the attitude, the disrespect. Women aren't really appealing no more to me. Like, I don't feel anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's coming to the point where, like, I strictly feel something based on energy, based on a mindset, based on how you treat me, how you speak to me, based on your attitude, based on your humbleness, your sweetness, your kindness. Like, being a bad bitch or whatever is going on these days, it's just not appealing. Like, it's just not appealing. The ego, it's mainly the ego. It's so many egotistical women that treat you like you're beneath them and they're better than you. And like their looks mean everything to them and like they have nothing else to go off of. And I'm just not attracted to that. Like, I'd rather much be alone.
And shout out to the brother. Appreciate this. When he says the ego, what we're dealing with is a bunch of mean women. They get off on being mean. They get off on sassy. And then they hide it behind some cosmic justice. No, you're just a gender warrior. Hiding your rage and anger at the men for not losing and kissing your ass behind feminism and female empowerment talk. And what this man is saying is enough. I'm done. I would argue you're hearing this from a lot of men. You're hearing this from a lot of men. 60 and down, goddamn. 60 years old and down, definitely 55, 50 years old and down. They're done. Huh? When you listen to Paris M, when you listen to Mandy B, you understand where this young man is coming from. These are your gender warriors that we're told to ignore. These are your gender warriors. You can't do anything with them. The ladies are unsalvageable. You can't do nothing with them. Huh? We're going to play it again. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat.
I'm not really attracted to women right now. And before you spam up, you're gay, never been gay, never will be. I'm not attracted to the ego in the majority of women. The mindset, the energy, the attitude, the disrespect. Women aren't really appealing no more to me. Like, I don't feel anything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But what informs that? That's why I played that Paris M video earlier. What informs that ego, that disrespect is a feeling, number one, of cosmic get back and retribution. And that's what Paris M was speaking to, right? Like, y'all been running the planet for how many thousands of years, and it's our get back, So what if we're with you for the money? So what if you're not a human being? You're just a tool. You're just a walking wallet. Y'all look at us as baby factory. So what if you're just a walking wallet overglorified guard dog? So what if we see you like that? So what if we brag about seeing you that way? So what if we say if you didn't have the money, we would leave you? So what if we get off on saying mean, snarky, dehumanizing things? So what? Hey, everyone. Dear America, your daughters. Dear America. Huh? This weird cosmic retribution, cosmic justice, cosmic get back. We're speaking about Gen Z men, young millennial men that had nothing to do with nothing Paris M is talking about. And yet what you're hearing, and this speaks to women being angrier than men, this hatred for men that women have. The article that came out a couple months ago that spoke to women in this anger that they have. Yeah, they have anger because they thought they could be absolute assholes and still somehow win. You imagine? I'm going to be mean. I'm going to ignore the masses of men. I'm going to go get this funky degree. This degree is going to graduate me into elite men that I could barely tolerate, but at least he's good looking and has some money. Oh, yeah, and tall, obviously. Probably white. And then I can step on other men. Y'all remember the whole campaign? The best women are the women that hate men. Those are the women that you should be in a relationship with. Dear all men, the best women to be in a relationship with are the women that hate men. Y'all remember that? So yes, the women are absolutely insufferable. Look what's informed them over the past few decades. Radical feminist. We're not in the era of speaking about women's right to vote, bodily autonomy. Yes, we know the repeal of Roe versus Wade. That's not really why the women are mad. Duh. The women want to do whatever they want to do with that funky ass box of theirs, uninhibited, and what's very crucial and important to them and paramount to them is being able to have that baby yanked from whoever they want it yanked by. It's rarely going to be from the specimen. It's going to be from whoever they were with, taking up time. Huh? This cosmic retribution and justice talk, yawn. And what is the young man saying? I can't do it anymore. Huh? The brother got the archetype. He got the air quotes, good hair, tatted up. If a brother like that is saying, look, I'm tapped out. I can't do I'm done. I'm done. Who was it that they interviewed the other day? It wasn't Maxwell. It was what's the brother name? It's right there. Lenny Kravitz. Remember Lenny Kravitz was like, look, man, I'm abstinent, bro. Yeah, that's what we are now. You know it's bad when the men are like, okay, look, these women y'all producing, dear America, dear the West, I can't do nothing with them. They're insufferable. The women are in dear America, your daughters are insufferable. To who look, radical feminists, you won. Now could y'all come and take them and munch on them or do something with them, push them off the edge of a cliff, something. These ladies are insufferable. They're in the way of progress. And they're infesting the minds of the youth. Continuing.
I'm not really attracted to women right now. And before you spam up, you're gay, never been gay, never will be. I'm not attracted to the ego in the majority of women. The mindset, the energy, the attitude, the disrespect. Women aren't really appealing no more to me. Like, I don't feel anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's coming to the point where, like, I strictly feel something based on energy, based on a mindset, based on how you treat me, how you speak to me, based on your attitude, based on your humbleness, your sweetness, your kindness. Like, being a bad bitch or whatever is going on these days, it's just not appealing. Like, it's just not appealing. The ego, it's mainly the ego. It's so many egotistical women that treat you like you're beneath them and they're better than you. And like their looks mean everything to them, and like they have nothing else to go off of. And I'm just not attracted to that. Like, I'd rather much be alone.
It's not like it is. They don't have anything to go off of. That's why it was fascinating listening to Leisha Miller say to men they need to develop a personality and be likable. I know the XX chromosome ain't talking. Maybe you got a personality worth the damn, Leisha Miller, and that's debatable. Maybe you do, but these run-of-the-mill women, these everyday women, these salt-of-the-earth women that's trying to practice hypergamy are standard issue as hell. They watch the same things. They listen to the same music. They have the same hobbies. No hobby. Standard issue cookie cutter as hell. So to the brother, yeah, they're extra regular, extra average women with their baddie starter kit, their bad B starter kit. They're cookie cutter as hell. There's nothing different about them. Their even down to their aspirations, frighteningly enough. Their wants and desires are even the same. Their aspirations are, if you want to know, and this is when we get into social proof, why the specimen dude and the sexy flexy dude and body beautiful and super tall and Mr. Money Man can smash all of the same women, it's because they're all the same. He don't have to change nothing about himself. The slim chick wants the same thing. The big girl wants the same thing. The short girl wants the same thing. The tall girl wants the same thing. The bald girl wants the same thing. The dread girl wants the same thing. The white girl wants the same thing. They all want the same thing. The same car, live in the same neighborhood, send their kids to the same school, speak the same. Huh? Well, damn. So shout out to that brother. But yeah, Mandy B and Paris M, standard issue rage bait nonsense, right? They're jizzing their panties, right? So when Mandy B, that was mainly, I would argue, directed mainly to the women. And for Paris, the darker skinned African sister, that was directed to the men. She got off. She was jizzing her panties with her little snarky comments. Right? Continuing.
This trend of women talking about the reason why they're dating their boyfriends, and it's like, he has an Amex, or like his family has a vacation home in Italy or whatever, and there's like all these men like crying in the comment section, like, all these women are so shallow, they're only gonna go for chads, they're only gonna go for like wealthy men, like blah blah blah, like just like coming for these girls, right, for being like, no, I like the fact that my man has money. It's so funny when they kind of present this as like a gotcha to like say how shallow women are, because like, well, yes, like, of course women are gonna care about money. Like, it was a very, very...
Look at the way she says, well, yes. Oh, shout out to your parents, ladies. Shout out to your parents. Look, when you see women, black women like this, right? The enunciation of their words, the the idiosyncrasies, right? The gestures, the facial expressions, even the sound of her voice. This is a failed white woman raging out that she's a failed white woman and hiding that behind gender talk. You're an angry, failed white woman. Address that first before you even talk to anybody about feminist ideals and y'all. That's not your issue, lady. No issue is you're not getting what white women are getting. Whether it's lifestyle, whether it's fear, ooh, the man, huh? The way you're viewed by the world, definitely the status. Address your real issues first, ma'am. Continuing.
This trend of women talking about the reason why they're dating their boyfriends, and it's like he has an Amex, or like his family has a vacation home in Italy or whatever, and there's like all these men like crying in the comment section like, all these women are so shallow, they're only gonna go for chads, they're only gonna go for like wealthy men, like blah blah blah, like just like coming for these girls, right, for being like, no, I like the fact that my man has money. It's so funny when they kind of present this as like a gotcha to like say how shallow women are, because like, well, yes. Well, yeah, it's like, of course women are going to care about money. Like, it was a very, very, very recent development that a woman could even, like, open up a bank account on her own. Like, my own mother, when she got a visa to come to America, like, my father had to sign off on it. He wasn't getting on a plane. Like, he just had to, like, give her permission to leave. You know, like, this is our mother's generation that were, you know, barely able to, like, just starting to be able to get an education, build a career, like, have any sort of true financial economic independence. Like, for a woman, advancing.
And let's read this and address this. And from Africa came says Harper, reference Harper, was that Daddis? I don't even want to try to pronounce that last name. Okay, anyway, found that from 2002 to 2011 and 2013, the top 5% of American men increased their number of actual partners by 32%, while a similar reduction, where's the rest of that? While a similar reduction, I'm looking for the rest, in ex-partners occurred across men in lower percentiles. Of course. Look, if trickle-down economics became a thing, and winner takes all became a thing, and the hoarding of the wealth became a thing, right? And I walked in the door of the Black Manosphere saying this, Dream Hoarders, and that is Dr. Richard Reeves' first book, right? It came out before Of Boys and Men, and he spoke about this. Well, not this, but he was saying, hey, it's not just the 1%. The top 20% functionally acts as the buffer between the top 1% and all the rest of the population, the bottom 80. And that's not necessarily out of a place of malice. They're not muhaha. Your average 20% person is just a professional managerial class person that went to college, got in good. They might be a professor. They might be in tech. They're doing well in life, right? They're earning $250,000 a year, right? Have a nice car, live in a pretty good neighborhood, might be married, probably married. Child goes to a private school or a really good public school, and they're just trying to protect their wealth and their position. But functionally, they act as class enemies for everyone else. It's not necessarily muhaha like the top 1% and definitely the top 0.1%. They're not Jeff Bezos. But because they're trying to protect their wealth, and what's protecting their wealth is more often than not hurting the bottom 80%. Once again, it just hurts the bottom 80%. Okay, cool. Oftentimes, the men of those classes we're going all the way once again, top 20%, top quintile. They're hoarding the wealth, they're hoarding the opportunities. Once again, we're not shaming them for living a great life. But we are describing what that means in the grand scheme of things for everyone else. Hoarding the wealth, hoarding the opportunities, hoarding the women, hoarding those experiences. And like I said to Black Uru a couple of streams ago, and I gotta actually cut that out and make that a whole video within itself. What ends up happening, and I actually had this conversation with a coworker. I said, and I actually found out the number. So it's about 6.5 million of us in South Florida, right? Not men and women, men and women, not just men. There's about 6.5 million of us in the Tri-County area. So we're going to cut it in half and say 3.25 million men, 3.25 million women. I would argue that about 400,000, maybe 500,000 of the men are touching 2.5, 2.75 million of the women. That means he either can have sexual contact with her, has had I almost said the word, has had sexual contact with her. He either can or has. Right? Then that woman then trickles down to the rest of us. Right? So let's go through the numbers again. 6.5 million residents in the Tri-County area. Assuming that all of them are adults. We know that they're not all adults, but assuming that all of them are adults. Cut it in half. 3.25 million men, 3.25 million women. My argument is, and you can replicate this in your own way, depending on where you live in the country. My argument is, out of those 3.25 million women, about 400 or so, maybe if we're being super generous, 500,000 or so of the men out of those 3.25 million men can or has gotten into some actual activity with about 80%, if not more, maybe a teeny bit less, have gotten into some type of actual activity with 80% of the women out of those 3.25 million women. When you think of dream hoarders, when you think of what From Africa I Came posted, what I'm saying is you have societal ramifications from about 80% of your women being some type of alpha widow. God damn, Z, you said that. I said it. I'm not telling the women to slow down. Yes, I am. I'm not telling the men to not engage in what they're engaging in. Z, you didn't make no correction for that. I know. What I'm saying is when the women have been, when so many of your ladies have been either alpha widowed or they're so aspirational for these men, it's either these type of men or nothing, there are downstream effects of that. You are going to have societal ramifications.
This is why everyone is single and men stop trying. This is the mouse paradise, a scientific experiment from the 1960s. They made the perfect world for mice with unlimited food, safety, and no predators. In the beginning, they placed 4 females and 4 males and let them multiply. The population exploded, hundreds, then thousands. Then something strange happened. They stopped mating. And within 4 years, they were extinct. But why? According to scientists, the reason was social interaction overload. Just like humans on social media today. They were in 24/7 interaction with thousands of others. Too much stimulation, too much competition for social status, and this led them to lose the ability to form bonds, to mate and raise their young. Many males became so-called the beautiful ones. They lost interest in females. They just groomed themselves all day and withdrew completely because they could not compete in this chaos anymore. And the females followed by losing interest in males. So no mating, and they all just died without having babies.
Too much competition for social status. Huh? Too much competition for social status. That's how you got here. Absolute insanity. Found that from 2002 to 2011/2013, the top 5% of American men increased their number of actual partners by 32%, while there was a similar reduction for the men lower down in the hierarchy. And we see this type of number replicated across the board. Huh? That's how you get, well, videos like this.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
What?
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you.
You're not ready to. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She's gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna want to run, because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Be cutting up.
I'm
You
just-
talk about.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Kevin. Right? Shout out to Kevin Samuels. So we have that going on, and you wonder why your birth rate is what it is. The women are hoarding on, or being hoarded by elite men, and that's all the women. Let's be clear. We're men. Some of us won the genetic lottery. Some of us did not. Right? We already know on a slow Tuesday, a 4 could get it on a slow Tuesday. Depending on how desperate you are, a 3 might be able to get it on a slow Tuesday. And if you do that enough times, she's alpha widowed. That is her bar. God forbid you actually pay for something for this lady. You actually do something for her. You help with a flat tire or something. You send her a couple $100. Oh, it's over. And no other man could do anything with her. Huh? We all done seen it. You got a 6'5" tall cousin. He walk into the function and you see the woman he's with. You like, oh hell no. No, that's true. That's what it is. You saw it correct. Huh? But the men are moving accordingly, and that is why we're having other men try to shame them about it.
Choosing not to talk to a woman because you know you're not where you want to be at
is the dumbest thing you could do. And this is exactly why we have the problem we have with dating. This is exactly why the men are looked at as the girls and the women are looked at as the guys. Because y'all letting stuff like money stop y'all from going to get the woman of your dreams. You got to understand, it's in you, not on you. Pause. If you're really a hustler, if you're really a go-getter, if you really got that mindset, regardless of your current situation, if you're doing everything you need to do and you meet a real woman and you know how to communicate as a grown man what you may have gone through, having a money conversation, but you still decide to show up, she gonna rock with you. It's never about low budget. It's always about low effort. Y'all gotta kill this mindset in 2026, dog.
Yeah, that sounds nice, but let's play this again.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
What?
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna want to run, because she doesn't stretch you. She doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be this stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Be cutting up.
But she's not the only one. God damn, Z.
Do you feel like broke guys should date? If you're broke as a man?
Yeah, hell yeah.
How would you date as a broke man?
You gotta be creative.
How? How for all the broke men who are listening, because they need to get real creative. So how should broke guys date? You're saying yes.
I think this, man. I can't.
Because how are you gonna take someone to a restaurant if you're broke?
It depends on a broke guy. If it's a broke guy that's still trying to figure things out in life, he got a plan, he's still busting his ass trying to get out there, he should date. If you just a lazy motherfucker, just sit back, you broke, you playing video games, and you ain't got nothing going on, no, you shouldn't.
But how do you date somebody if you don't have money to take somebody out?
I mean, you got to get creative. You got to get creative. Hey, let's go to this park. Let's go walk around the park.
That's not a date.
That's a date.
Who doing that? Let's go walk around at a park.
No,
somebody needs to eat. I'm gonna eat. I want to drink.
Who's doing that? She says.
Let me cook for you then. Okay.
How's he gonna buy groceries?
Okay, listen. He broke, but he still should have some money. Like at least $10 is $12 is.
What kind of meal are you gonna make with $12?
Okay, listen. You get creative, nigga. I go food for less and get some good food or something. You go some like Aldi's or something.
Food for less and good food. That's kind of like a.
Listen, you gotta be creative when you broke. When you broke. When I ain't had no money, I got creative. I would go to small stores, small grocery stores, and I could cook. So, hey, my shit gonna be amazing.
And Indigo says, first of all, define, quote, broke. The word gets thrown around too much. Broke is arbitrary. Broke is whenever you don't meet whatever standard in the moment. Right? When a woman throws around broke to men, or a man, it's whatever you didn't do or whatever air quote standard you didn't meet financially in the moment. And you might even actually have it. You don't want to spend it. You're broke. We know it's an insult, but there is no real definition. Huh? So let's be clear. What we have here, Mr. Z Ramen, is once again rage bait, number one, but number two, folks not appreciating the numbers. I actually kind of agree with her, like, really, what you gonna do with $12? With that, she's not gonna date you, bro. A woman is not gonna date you on that if she's not really with you. If she's rocking with you, you're good. At least for now. But if she got to debate it, she's not debating it. Now, we all know you could get the vagina for free if she actually likes you. But if she got to debate, there is no debate. Say it again, Z. If she has to debate it, there is no debate. You didn't get it. Huh? And J. Mar says, and this is important to read, J. Mar says she's not even that fly. Oh my God. And that's the important part. It's not about her being up to your taste physically, right? She may not be appealing to you physically. The reason why we play these clips, and if you notice, I often don't go in on the ladies' looks. Every once in a while, I'll get a dig in or two. I will get our 5 chuckles. But I don't go in on the ladies' looks. I don't, you know, make fun of them. We don't mock them. We don't get our 5 chuckles in on their expense physically. There's a reason why. It's the message. I focus on what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're advocating for, etc., etc. Right? And the fact that you don't find her physically appealing and she's saying this is even more of a reason to play this, to emphasize the women across the board are talking like this. We're not in this era anymore where the big girls are nicer and kinder and they cook you a home cooked meal, and they might give it up easier, right? And they stay somewhat in the competition by just being nicer, kinder women. We're not in the era anymore where the women who may not be as physically appealing are kinder and nicer. She might have her career going, right? And she's going to be an asset to your life. And so when we meet you in the future and y'all got your whole power couple thing going, and she may not be all there physically, but we get it. We're like, yeah, but you know, they did build our business and they opened in a new location down the street at this other part of the city, right? We're not in that era no more. The women who are not so appealing physically, the overweight women, the women who got things going on, her family name isn't that great. We know about her background. She got to, her brother done did this and her cousin done did that, and her mom is off her rocker. Those women are talking just as insanely with their air quote standards, and their hypergamy is on a million, just like the supposed attractive women, etc., etc. Huh? Exactly. And All Hell Balamucho says the vaginal arrogance is profound. That's why we play clips of these women and I don't often go in on their looks. It's because what they're saying, right? Not to mention, I know that if you shake her tree and you find out who has smashed, it's gonna be one or two specimen brothers in there. I've always said it. When what's her name again? What's that damn artist name again? The heavyweight sister. What's her name again? Goddamn, her name just slipped my mind. Anyway, the heavyweight sister, the entertainer that claimed, hey, y'all calling me fat and whatnot, but NFL dudes are in my comments. I believed her. Lizzo, thank you, Lizzo. Thank you, Saint Cyr, Lizzo. I know what you mean, little plastic spoon. Yeah, Lizzo. Right. And Mr. Edwards says Lizzo. Yeah. I believed Lizzo. And when the wide load heavyweight other black woman claimed that her and Usher got it in and he might have gave her one of those itchy scratchies, I believed her too. And Usher never denied that they did something. He just denied that he's the one who gave her that itchy scratchy. Huh? So when you're a woman and you hear other men saying, I'll never touch you. There's no way Chris Brown would never do nothing with you. Usher would never do nothing with you. You ain't getting these type of elite men. You're right. I want y'all to appreciate. Y'all are probably right. That doesn't mean he won't smash. Huh? That doesn't mean he will not smash. I want to say that again. This is something we know. And if he smash, and if he does it more than once, oh, she off a widow. It's done. You can't do nothing. You can't tell her nothing anymore. God forbid he actually take her out in public. God forbid he actually shows her off, or not show her off. Let's not go that far. We ain't gonna go that far. But God forbid he doesn't act like he's fully embarrassed being with her in public. Oh, it's a done deal. And now, mind you, you can know, and the friend circle can know, oh, he just dealing with her for a few months. She just an easy lay for a few months. He's in a drought, so he just doing whatever with her for a few months. That's enough time for her to be alpha widow for the rest of her life. Huh? And Mr. Edwards says Lizzo and Chris Evans are getting married. Hysterical. Chris Evans is married to a white woman. But yeah, that whole episode when she was trying to appeal to Chris Evans and acting like she was pregnant from Chris Evans, I remember that whole era of her life, what that was like 6 or so years ago. I remember that. I want you to appreciate, if Chris Evans would have air quotes dated Lizzo Even if it would have lasted 9 months, you realize you couldn't tell Lizzo nothing afterward. Y'all can't tell Lizzo nothing now. Huh? If Chris Evans would have publicly dated Lizzo, knowing he wasn't going to do nothing else with her, but he done smashed on her for a few times, went to red carpet events with her for 9 months. I didn't even say a full calendar year. 9 months. You couldn't tell Lizzo anything for the rest of her life. So I'm tying that to this young lady saying, what can you do with $12? Look, if her ideal dude smashed on her for 6 months and she could claim that she dated him, you can't tell her anything for the rest of her life. Huh? She could have been just another chick that he scratched off of the list. This is my number 173. Right? Now you could ask him about her a year later and he'll be like, who are you talking about? Because he forgot he done smashed so many women. But the fact that he smashed her, she's off a widow for the rest of her life. You can't tell her nothing. And she's going to be trying to achieve that for the rest of her life. She's going to try to be going back up that way for the rest of her life. We done seen it. Look at the women from around the way. They get alpha widowed from the local D-boy that used to be giving them a little $5,000 here, $3,000 there, $1,000 this. Little fast money. You can't tell that girl. She was dealing with dude for 2 years in her mid-20s. She's in her early 40s. She is still alpha widow. You can't do nothing with her. I done met these women before. Y'all trying to tell me y'all haven't met these women before in New York, in LA, in DC? Huh? In Milwaukee? In Dallas? In Houston? In Chicago? She used to deal with, name the dude, especially now with the scamming era. Quick $20,000. Huh? Before he got caught up, was just like, hey, here go a little $5,000. Leave me alone. Here go a little $7,000. Leave me alone. You meet that girl. She was dealing with him from 22 to 25 when he got caught up. From 22 to even 24 before he got caught up. You meet her when she's 35, she's still alpha widow. You can't do nothing with her. Huh? Look, I'm thinking about someone that I know right now. You can't do nothing with her. I had a conversation with one of my homeboys. I was like, look, man, look, after that situation she experienced for those many years, pushing luxury SUV and all this other stuff, yeah, you can't do nothing. Look, she gone. Yeah, she went back to school. Yeah, she in the nursing program, etc. That's all great. That's great. That's good for her. She's gonna be okay taking care of her and her kids. But the experience she had with dude, oh yeah, that destroyed her for the rest. She can't go back down. That doesn't mean that she's not gonna end up with someone, but she's alpha widow. That is her peak, and she's never gonna get that type of money that fast again in her life. Huh? Just saying. And Mr. Edwards says, I can't believe Tobey Maguire is 50 with a 19-year-old. Straight up cheesy. Hey, we know how this go. Mr. J. Marr says, they think they're entitled to that type of life. Yes, but I will give you something to think about. What ends up messing up the ladies are the women who live that life, the women who see the women live that life, the women who are one step removed from the women who's living that life. They all get low-key alpha widowed. God damn, Z, you said that. I said it. It's not just that woman who live it. It's her sister. It's her cousins. It's her co-workers. It's the woman who heard the story. It's, I'm telling y'all, they all get alpha widowed. God damn, Z. And he only was smashing one, maybe two. God damn. He had the chick he was smashing. He had her friend on the low. She didn't know. But all the women in that girl's circle get alpha widowed. I'm telling y'all from something I know. I've seen it not just once. Yes, that's a thing. And all her Balamucho says alpha widowed by proxy. What y'all think? Oh, such and such doing such and such for such and such? Huh? Tyrone's doing this and this for Keisha. Yeah, whenever that she's alpha widowed. Huh? And Dell says secondhand alpha widow. It's a thing. I'm surprised we never somebody might have mentioned it in the Black Manosphere. I just don't remember. Yeah, that's a thing, y'all. That is a thing. And even if she don't say it, when you meet these women and they're like, well, yo, if I can't have this, if I can't do that, I'm not doing nothing. She was way too close in proximity to the blast radius of a homegirl that she know that experienced that. She was way too close. It's a thing. Huh? And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Detroit says, so if I can cook a steak that costs $30 to $60, makes me broke, right? I think you say if you can't cook a steak. I get what you're saying. I'm I'm sure who's going to be broke in 2050. I'm not sure who's going to be broke in 2050 when the black marriage is going to be the crappier. Shout out to the petrodollar. Yeah, look, we know that. We appreciate what's probably coming down the pike unless the US can manage to catch this spin out that it's in right now. We know that the average American doesn't know, doesn't care. They just don't want gas prices to get too high. The average woman is just out to lunch. They don't know, they don't care. They just want to be able to pogo stick up and down or have some man, their ideal man, pogo stick up and down them. They want to live in a nice neighborhood. If they have kids, they want to send their kids to a nice school, and they want to drive a luxury SUV. Your average woman. And they want to live their best rendition of name whatever movie, book, or whatever the hell character from whatever entertainment that they've ingested. That's it. I promise you their aspirations don't go further than that. Their aspirations is to live whatever their dream is, whether it's to travel here, there, and everywhere, to get smashed on by their ideal dude, to live in their ideal neighborhood. And that's about it. They don't have no greater or loftier dreams and aspirations. I promise you they don't. And that's white women, black women, Latina women, Asian women. You ask them about their dreams and aspirations outside of traveling and great XXX fun and living in either the downtown area or a big ass ranch home or a McMansion or the full-on mansion, right? The luxury SUV, showing off expensive clothes. That's it. I promise y'all that's it. Mr. Z done had these conversations, y'all. I promise y'all that's it. Exactly, Dr. Dunbar. Dr. Dunbar says, eat at Michelin star restaurants. I promise they don't have greater aspirations. Shout out to Dr. Dunbar. They don't have aspirations of coming up for the cure for this or the treatment for that. They don't have, Dr. Dunbar, that's your life. Right? That's your life. That the women don't have no greater aspiration. Right? I promise y'all they don't. They don't want to work for the UN. They don't want to save the snail, save the whales. That's, yeah, you meet a handful of liberal white women who be on that type of time. Conservative white women who are saving dogs and stuff. Sometimes, every once in a while, you'll meet a Latina on that same type of time, even a black woman on the same type of time. But for the masses of women, they're not. They're not. They're not. Right? Aspirational flex, as Trell Bentley says. Shout out to Trell. That's it. The aspiration is to flex. And as we say all the time, shout out to Trell, the class reunion flex. That's as far as their aspiration goes. Class reunion flex. That's it. Huh? I knew, ooh, this is a great comment. I knew this is a great comment. I'm going to leave this up for a little while. This is a great comment. I knew says, women becoming consumer AI hobbyist. Well, is that owl hobbyist? Consumer owl hobbyist, while capitalism is sputtering. That is or was that a typo? Right. That's a yes. Oof, that's a great comment. Oh, you meant to say all consumer, all hobbyist. Okay, so we'll go leave it up. But yeah, women becoming consumer all hobbyist while capitalism is sputtering. Yep, yep. And Dr. Dunbar says, hair done, nails done, everything did exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And that's where we are. And that's where we are. And if you notice, that's why the men, that's why that's to say we haven't had female astronauts, we have, but that's why it's the men that are pushing the envelope for these things. The women just want to look fly and stunt and be on the arms of the winners. That's it. That's it, y'all. I promise y'all that's it. And what's angering them is that their degrees are not elevating them into spaces with more men that are winners. They could do their power couple thing, or she could be the stay-at-home mom to the winner. That's it. Promise y'all that's it. And when you let the ladies talk, they'll find roundabout ways of saying that. Promise you. Meanwhile, the men are heading out, doing different things, especially trying to get out the West, trying to get out America, because the competition is insane. And competing for what? Mediocre box? Starfish? Sexual activity? Not enthusiastic? Yawn? Continuing.
So we all came to the Philippines for the beautiful beaches, but are we not going to talk about the weird dynamic where it seems like these older, unattractive, below mediocre men seem to come and find their mojo with these women who look almost prepubescent? And I'm not saying they are, but they definitely look it. And is it even a problem? Some people think that it's fine because the women, they're getting their come up in life, they're living their best life, they're able to support their families back in their provinces, and they get to come to places like this and, you know, have holidays and be treated well. Then I'm like, the men, they seem to have this idea that because they've picked up these gorgeous young ladies, that they therefore have a bigger penis. I don't know. For me, it is a little unsettling. It makes me uncomfortable, but I don't know if I'm bringing just my norm and judging through the wrong lens. And I just wondered, is it a problem? Should we be talking about it more? Because of course, yes, this is stunning, but there just seems to be something in the air that I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know that it doesn't make me feel good.
It's your hateration, ma'am. It's your hateration.
I just wondered, what does the internet think? Like, is it okay for old men to come here and have their pickings and basically use their wallet to buy the hearts? And there does seem to be a dynamic where the women have to like cling on to their every word and their every arm and really feed the ego. But again, maybe that's just what all men want. My darling, you're welcome.
Maybe not all men, ma'am, but about like 95% of us in some capacity. You damn right she better be clinging on to this arm. I'm spending this money. Huh? You absolutely right. I came here for the girlfriend experience, ma'am. Huh? This $100 is not gonna hold itself. First of all, Patois accent, love it. Second, ma'am, this goes back to something I like to emphasize. The men don't have to be losers. If he's an old man and he's invisible to the women where he lives, he's invisible to the women where he's from, or the price of their attention and the price of the actual activity is more than he can afford, or he just don't want to pay it, then why not take a flight? Goddamn, Z, I said it. And the problem is, notice what she said. She said prepubescent looking. You're trying to be slick with it. Low key, you hating. High key, low key, you're hating, really. You feel uncomfortable that they're flexing somewhere else. They're not beholden to Western women. Ma'am, your real issue is he's making that dollar stretch and she's making something else stretch. Giggity. Your problem, when you say something don't kind of feel right, yes, it is a man taking full advantage of his leverage. It is a man saying, to hell with these Western ideas and ideals that I have to stay back home with the mean, snarky, rude, overweight, materialistic consumerists. If I'm going to have to pay anyway, can I at least make it pleasant and cheaper? Huh? If I'm going to have to pay anyway. And the reason why I left this comment highlighted from Ainu, oh, you fancy, huh? That's what she's saying to the men that she's seeing overseas. Goddamn, Z. Oh, so you think you fancy? What did she say? Oh, so you think your peen got a whole lot bigger? You think you got a bigger peen now? Ma'am, the man is using and spending his hard-earned bucks to get a certain type of relationship and experience for cheaper than he would back home in England, back home in Canada, back home in Norway, back home in Germany, back home in America, back home in France. And something about that isn't right to you because, once again, that power dynamic. Y'all issue is with that power dynamic. It shouldn't be that easy for him. And as you said, it's just an old man. I'm assuming mainly old white men, obviously. It shouldn't be that easy. There should be more friction. He shouldn't be able to use that type of leverage. And Kanye says one man shouldn't have all that power. No one man should have all that power, ma'am. I get it. That's your real issue. Uh-huh. It's not fair. You're really saying it's not fair that he gets to flex that type of leverage.
Fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Huh? Madam, you're not a bad-looking woman. You got the little patois accent. Go make something happen. You overseas. You in East Asia. Go make something happen, ma'am. Or you're in Southeast Asia. Well, you're in East Asia, better yet. Go make something happen. You're over here psychoanalyzing the man or the men. The women think they could call you losers, see you as losers back home, and then when they see you overseas, taking full advantage of your leverage, that they could still be, you're a loser back home. Yeah, but I'm winning now. Huh? I'll see you back home. You can call me a loser. You know what? You don't even gotta wait. You can call me a loser when you see me in the airport in the next 4 days. But as of right now, oh, I'm winning. No, ma'am. Y'all need the whole fantasy. We could acknowledge. You know what? The second she see me on the plane, I'm a loser again. But right now, right? When we land back in America, when we land back in LAX, huh? Or MIA International, or Hartsfield Jackson, huh? When we land back home, ma'am, then you could talk all the crap you want about how I'm a loser. But as of right now, oh, I'm winning. It's insanity. And so you're trying to justify it to yourself by saying, oh, they look prepubescent, and the problem is either they are or they're not. If they're of age, the problem is if that's his preference, if he has a preference for more petite women, younger looking women, and he didn't cross the line, then the problem is your problem is that men are taking flights to get the hell away from the toxic sludge that is the dating market in the West. If you're not 6'5" and earning $250,000 plus a year. And white, probably. Goddamn Z. Huh? And because you have these older men that say, you know what? Let's go see what my $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 could do in Thailand. Now the ladies feel a certain way about it. Play it again. Excuse me. Play it again, Z.
So we all came to the Philippines for the beautiful beaches, but are we not going to talk about the weird dynamic where it seems like these older, unattractive, below mediocre men seem to come and find their mojo with these women who look almost prepubescent? And I'm not saying...
Ma'am, you said everything you need to say within the first 15 seconds, really. I'm just going to dismiss that whole prepubescent thing, right? That's just you trying to justify it to yourself, right? But let's call a thing a thing. You said below mediocre looking men, and they find their mojo. The problem is this is why they're overseas. I'll give you the insults. They're below mediocre looking men, and they're overseas, and they're having the time of their life because the woman that's around them is around them only for the money. And the problem is she's going to give him the girlfriend experience for the week he's there, for the 5-6 days he's there, for the 2 weeks he's there. Rightfully so. He's leaving the West because y'all have made it impossible. We already have the article that say y'all hate men. Huh? The ladies are overweight, they're mean, they're snarky, they're insanely consumerist and materialistic. So if you're meeting, air quotes, below mediocre men overseas who said, you know what, I'm a loser back home, but I'm winning here, what's the problem? No, he needs to build himself and be a winner back home. He don't owe you that. He needs to make himself appealing to the women like me. He doesn't owe you that. That's what your problem is, ma'am. Deal with it. If you're going to psychoanalyze yourself. Deal with the issue you have is that he's exercising his leverage somewhere else instead of, air quotes, building himself and making himself appealing to women like you or attempting to be appealing to women like you because he's going to fail on the mission. That's your actual issue, ma'am. Huh? Once again.
Fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Huh? Your actual issue, madam. Continuing.
So we all came to the Philippines for the beautiful beaches, but are we not going to talk about the weird dynamic where it seems like these older, unattractive, below mediocre men seem to come and find their mojo with these women who look almost prepubescent? And I'm not saying they are, but they definitely look it. And is it even a problem? Some people think that it's fine because the women, they're getting their come up in life, they're living their best life, they're able to support their families back in their provinces, and they get to come to places like this and, you know, have holidays and be treated well. Then I'm like, the men, they seem to have this idea that because they've picked up these gorgeous young ladies, that they therefore have a bigger penis. I don't know. For me, it is a little unsettling. It makes me uncomfortable, but I don't know if I'm bringing just my norm and judging through the wrong lens. And I just wondered, is it a problem? Should we be talking about it more? Because of course, yes, this is funny, but there just seems to be something in the air that I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know that it doesn't make me feel good. But then who cares about my feelings? I just wondered, what does the internet think? Like, is it okay for old men to come here and have their pickings and basically use their wallet to buy the hearts? And there does seem to be a dynamic where the women have to like cling on to their every word and their every arm and really feed the ego. But again, maybe that's just what I want. My darling, you're welcome.
And Tunnel Runner says, the green-eyed monster, jealousy. Thank you. Exactly, Tunnel Runner. Tunnel Runner, you know she low-key talking about men like you. She low-key talking about men like you who just won. Right? Tunnel Runner said, all right. Y'all American women won't act right. Watch this. She talking about men like you. Wait, that's not fair. How you just gonna exit the game? Why? How dare you not play the game here? I don't owe you playing the game here. I don't owe you playing the game. I definitely don't owe you playing the game here. I don't owe you trying to appeal to you. I don't owe you spending on you. I don't owe you anything. Watch this. Plane ticket. Check, please. Huh? Say that. Indigo Flow says, a whole unsolicited ass field piece. You hear me? Dr. Dunbar says, none of your business. Huh? And Afro Merchant says, what's the point of even saying that? She's hating, she's telling other women that you know they got an escape plan, right? You damn right. Huh? You damn right. And Ricardo Brown says, she got one thing right, we don't care about her feelings, and that chaps her ass. You want to know what grinds my gears? Huh? I know what you meant to say, Tunnel Runner, but that's funny that you said it the way you said it. I'll say it the right way. And Tunnel Runner says, Z, the wife land beside me right now. Just fed me some Indian food, coffee love in paradise, right? It's funny the way you said it though. That typo caught your ass. Was it a typo or a Freudian slip? I know what you meant to say though. I read it the way it needed to be read. If I read it the way you typed it, if I read it the way you typed it, the sisters will be jumping. They'll be cracking the roof, jumping in with SWAT style, trying to take you away. Oh man. Say that. And Jerome says, wow, they flying overseas to spy and talk ish. For real, for real. Exactly. Exactly. Right. Man. And All for One says, my Filipina tells me men are hip to Western women, especially black women. They have the internet. They hear what Keisha says about them. Yeah. Yeah. And look, you can do that when nobody presses you to say what you really mean. Right? And oh man, perfect timing, Brooklyn Finance. And Brooklyn Finance says, Z, she's mad, she's aged out. It's dirty macking. That dirty macking. So we saw this with Princella. We've seen this with other women. We see this with this young lady. When people don't press you to say what you really mean, or as Z likes to say it, when people don't bring you to the deep end of the pool in conversation so we could get to the crux of your actual argument, you get to say these things and make it seem like you actually care about the women overseas, right? You get to make it seem like you care. Well, the women look kind of prepubescent, right? It's like they're kind of taking advantage of the power dynamic. And what your real issue is that those men found an exit strategy. They don't have to play by the rules set in the West. And you have a slight fear that this could catch on. Right? And somebody said in the comments she's Jamaican, and she know what type of time it is. I read it and I didn't highlight it. I'm gonna try to see. Oh man, I let it get too far. But yeah, correct. And for all of us Caribbean descent, we know Jamaican women ain't no joke. Annoying. I love the accent. I love the patois accent. It might be my favorite accent. But can I deal with that on a daily basis with the arguments? Absolutely not. And so you damn right, as a Jamaican woman, she's like, we might have a problem here. Houston, we got a problem. Paging the ADOS FBA contingent. Okay, could we talk to? Okay. Could we talk to the Black Canadians? Okay, the Black Brits too, the Black French too, the Black French. Yeah, them too. Hey, you know they over here in Thailand. Wait, what? They going to Brazil too? And Colombia? And Panama? Oh, they think they're slick. They're trying to get away from us. You damn right. Huh? Dear women across the West of different races, we don't owe you playing this game with you. We don't owe you, air quotes, rising to whatever level you think we should be. No, go grab a ticket for the elite dudes y'all all want, and the men will figure something out. The rest of the men will figure something out. Not all of us are going to be passport bros. That's not doable. But we'll figure it out. When you're desperate enough, we'll have fun with you, right? Some of us are date outside the black race. We'll figure it out. Huh? But dear women in the West, women in Black America, we don't owe you dealing with y'all mean, snarky, overweight, sassy, smug selves. We don't. And who decided that your attitude is sassy and smug? The men did. Ooh, the men did. And you're not going to change our appetite, and you're not going to get us to see it a different way or to use a different lens. Yawn with all that crap. Huh? And on that, what we should be doing is pushing y'all into LGBTQ activities. Oh, wait, 23% of women under the age of 30. So that's a quarter of women under the age of 30. Admit that that's the type of time they're on. Last time I checked, wasn't it a third of women? Didn't they even go up higher than 23%? Either way, continuing.
Straight women, I think you can relate to this, I hope. But when it comes to men, I am a straight woman. I unfortunately find men to be attractive. But the problem with that is that I am not attracted to most men. I find most men to be just very unimpressive. Physically, mentally, all of the leads. You know what I mean? And it's like, God, Do you ever just wish sometimes you could just be with the girl and just be a lesbian? Because I do. I would, like, that would be so amazing. I wish that I could just be really excited about
your forehead got a forehead on it.
Being in a physical relationship with a woman where I could fall in love and have that beautiful emotional attachment, be able to just like
there's a solar eclipse because of your forehead,
support one another and just be like pretty goddesses together. And that's just not possible for me, because that would be selfish, because I won't be able to fully invest in that type of union in the way that it would deserve to be. Unfortunately, because I'm still going to find men physically attractive, even though I can't even tell you the last time I actually saw an attractive human man in real life. No, actually, that's a lie. I saw one like in the wild 2 days ago when I was walking down the street. I almost fucking flipped my, like, I almost tripped. I was like, wait, they still exist. It's like the Loch Ness Monster. It's like they exist. It's so rare that you see them. God. Man, I think if you just tried a little bit harder to be less insufferable, you might get more positive results when trying to engage with the fair sex, aka women. Because as it stands, none of us are really that into whatever it is that you guys are purportedly bringing to this table, while simultaneously asking us what the fuck we bring. We don't bring nothing. We are the table. And the sooner you guys realize that, you might actually have a chance at happiness. Just saying.
Imagine listening to you talk and then say we might have a chance at happiness if we would just bow down, essentially. Ma'am, you're you with that forehead. Number one. Number two, would this sound like is you're being pressed by LGBTQ women on why you're not an LGBTQ woman yourself, with all of this anti-man content you put out, and now you're explaining to them, well, you gotta understand, I'm just physically attracted to men. We can fix that, ma'am. Wait, we're already fixing that. That's why you're in the state that you're in. Single. Huh? Baseball ass forehead of yours. Ma'am, you're being pressed by women, LGBTQ women, it seems, on why aren't you, seeing that you have all this criticism of men, why aren't you same-sex loving? And you're telling them, look, unfortunately, I'm just physically attracted to men. Okay, fine. And I don't think I could be as loving to a woman because I just don't see women that way. Okay, fine. Ma'am, the men are not bowing. Huh? And No Hero says baseball, that's a whole beach ball. Huh? Toya said, but the bigger the forehead. Oh man, not the bigger the forehead, but the stronger the brain. Not in her case. Well, you know what? She got some nice lips. I'm just saying. We gonna leave that alone. Anyway. Right? Excalibur said that's more like a 6 head. Huh? Man, I played this because number one, title, rage bait content. But second, if you see her attitude, and especially what she said towards the end, this idea that if the men would just act right, the women would be willing to go. What's your definition of act right that doesn't involve 6'3" and at least $250,000 a year? Yeah, that's it. No. Crickets. Rightfully so. Crickets. Continuing.
Straight women, I think you can relate to this, I hope. But when it comes to men, I am a straight woman. I unfortunately find men to be attractive. But the problem with that is that I am not attracted to most men. I find most men to be just very unimpressive, physically, mentally, all of the leads. You know what I mean? And it's like, God, do you ever just wish sometimes you could just be with a girl and just be a lesbian? Because I do. I would, like, that would be so amazing. I wish that I could just be really excited about the idea of being in a physical relationship with a woman where I could fall in love and have that beautiful emotional attachment, be able to just like frolic and hold hands and just be able to support one another and just be like pretty goddesses together. And that's just not possible for me.
Look, to all you ladies, y'all need to tell other women the truth. You want a big, strong man to hold your neck while knocking the bottom out that thing. You need to be honest. Right? You need to be honest about what it is. You want that testosterone. You want the vitamin D, pun intended. Look, we know it's going to break that little LGBTQ woman's heart when you tell her why you won't go that direction. Shout out to everyone now who says, see, the problem with the men want to be intimate with women, but they don't like women. They like what women do for them, but they don't like women. This woman is telling you she likes what men do for her, but she doesn't like men. And that's perfectly okay. If human beings have gotten to the point now where the technology and the conveniences have gotten enough of us to be like, look, I just want the physical from you. Maybe occasionally we could do the whole girlfriend boyfriend thing and lay on this couch and I'll put my arms around you and you'll put your hand where I want you to put it. Hand jobs. Anyway, and we're gonna do that a couple times. But really, I don't need you for anything else. Then fine then. But to all of you kind of man bashing all of you man bashing women, tell the LGBTQ women who are asking you, why aren't you LGBTQ? Tell them the truth. You want penetration from a man. You want missionary from a man. You want doggy style from a man. You want that pelvic thrust, shout out to Ice Cube, from a man. Huh? You want a man to be flicking your bean, madam. You don't want to look down and see a woman pleasuring you. Huh? Just tell the women the truth. Tell the other women the truth. Y'all gotta walk around it and talk around it, and no, you want bass. You want dirty talk. You want to hear the bass in his voice. You want this, Mr. Z can't even do it the right way. Huh? Tell the ladies the truth. You want to feel his beard rubbing against your chin when he's kissing you. Tell the ladies the truth. Beard gang. Huh? Now y'all gotta protect the little LGBTQ women's feelings. Little do you know, she's secretly with other men also. Little do you know. Yes, that includes the butch ones. Yes, the butch ones are stepping out on their girlfriends with men also. Little do you know. Huh? Get out of here. Now you got to protect their little fragile feelings. Oh, look, I did see one man I found physically attractive. I did see one. You got to do all this to appeal to the LGBTQ women because y'all talk so crazy about men. The LGBTQ women are like, so why aren't y'all over here? Because she wants the real thing. She wants to feel that pulsating during climax, if y'all know what Mr. Z is saying. God damn, Z, you being real descriptive. Real visceral with it. Y'all know. Huh? That's why. It's real simple. Shout out to Toya. Shout out to Toya. Huh? Yeah, no, I still have it saved somewhere. I'm mad that I went this direction in the conversation and I didn't think to have that queued up and ready. But in Saint Cyr says, remember that white LGBTQ woman I sent you that was telling the women folk that it ain't ish sweet being LGBTQ? Yes. And remember what she's saying, I'm not a man, I'm not gonna save you. We're not gonna have this kind of patriarchal type of dynamic going on. And it's crazy. And remember, she had the whole butch haircut going, and in many ways, she just looked like, at least in the face, she looked like your standard issue white man, right? Without any facial hair. And she was look, there's no protector provider over here in the LGBTQ world. We're not gonna have that patriarchal dynamic going on. And it's crazy. And by the way, that's not the only video I've seen of an LGBTQ woman, namely the more masculine presenting ones, saying that. They got to check those women. Look, I'm not a dude. If you wanted that type of dynamic, you need to stay over there. That's why I continue to say women are full of crap. All these women that, I wish I was LGBTQ. No, the hell you don't. You're over here still holding out hope for Mr. Spin That and Splackavelli. Huh? Daddy third leg. That's why you still over here. And you ain't going nowhere. Huh? Every once in a while you might brunch and munch behind your man's back, but you not going nowhere. Not to mention, women ain't tricking on other women that way. Damn, Z, you said it. I said it. Most women are never going to trick on other women in that way. It's not going to happen. Huh? Get out of here. Right? And I didn't forget about you. And All Hail Balamuccio says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And All Hail Balamuccio says, they all float, head ass. Her forehead is wild, bro. I make fun of it because of her smug demeanor. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be making fun of that lady's forehead, right? Another light-skinned black woman with a forehead. We thought Rihanna had a forehead, but this lady done beat Rihanna with the forehead. Another light skin. She's not hideous. She's just another light-skinned black woman with a forehead. Standard issue. Nothing to see here. Continue. I just make fun of it because it's something to make fun of. Right. So there's nothing to see here. I'm just making fun of it because it's something to make fun of. I got a homeboy. I make fun of his nose. The dude don't really even got a big nose like that. He just got a slightly bigger than usual nose, and it's a bit more pointier than normal. And I make fun of his nose like he really got a schnoz on him. He really don't got a schnoz on him. Right? So we just make fun of her forehead because it's notable that she got a 5 head, but she's just another light-skinned black woman with a forehead. That's all. Another, let's be clear, another smug asshole, fake elitist, and she might actually have some things and some money, but another fake elitist, smug asshole, light-skinned black woman with a forehead. Right? So yeah. So yeah, nothing to see here. Standard issue, light skin chick with the forehead. Continuing.
It's nothing that's your anger can do. Because if men wake up this morning, every single man, and say we want to take it 500 years backwards, when push comes to shove, lock up all the women, turn them to baby factories, whatever those ideas are, that's, men in the past did, we can actually do that, and
So
nobody
you're proving
will stop us.
So you're
if
proving
that
my
is what
point.
we want to do,
Exactly.
nobody is going to stop us.
Exactly.
Who would stop us?
Exactly.
Who would stop us?
Exactly.
However, where women have gotten to in 2026 is as of a result of men being considerate, because it's a natural law. The stronger will rule over the weaker.
They always revert back to violence, don't they? Every single time. We should be so lucky that we have the rights that we have, because they are so benevolent that they allowed us to have these rights. They are so benevolent that only one woman dies every 10 minutes at the hands of a man, whether it's a romantic partner or a family member. They are so benevolent that only 167 of us are murdered every single day. They are so benevolent because it could be much worse. Ladies, it could be 1 every 2 minutes or every 5 minutes. It could be 300 women a day. But we should be so grateful that it's not worse, because every single time we progress and move forward, they can take it away at whim by exercising violence against us. Right? It always goes back to violence, proving our point that the patriarchy is held by sheer violence, and men want to subjugate women through violence. Whether it's legislative violence, physical violence, emotional violence, they get their power through violence. And we should feel so lucky that they're not worse, because they can be real savages if they chose to.
Are women not human beings? Let's ask all the kids if women aren't savage. Ooh. Let's ask the children. The unalived ones. Oops. The ones y'all unalive in your stomach, the ones y'all unalive when they're here, living and breathing. Are women not savage? Oh, I forgot. Women stop being human beings when they start critiquing men. Number 1. Number 2, yes. Men's benevolence is why you breathe. Yes, actually, yes. Number 2. Number 3, nice try on purposely missing his point. What he is saying is men are not the savages y'all paint us out to be. Men are not the savages y'all paint us out to be. That's why women can vote. That's why women can drive. That's why women can have their own careers. That's why women can make their own money. That's why women aren't stoned to death for sexual activity before marriage. Breaking up marriages, divorcing men, cheating on men, physically assaulting men. Do you appreciate that men are so not savage that women can be married to one man, have a child for another man, tell the husband it's his child, and she's not stoned to death in the middle of the streets? You damn right, men's benevolence. You're absolutely correct, ma'am. You said that in a sarcastic way. Like, yes, ma'am. Huh? Oh, we should be so lucky. Yes, actually, yes. Yes, actually. Wait, what? What he is saying is that the men are so not savage that women, especially in the West, but even across, women do whatever the hell they want to do for the most part. Women are deleting babies. Women doing whatever. Their father don't have no say so. The oldest uncle don't have no say so. The oldest brother don't have no say so. Their own mother don't have no say so. Women doing whatever the hell they want to do. By the way, women are destroying even their own lives from their autonomy. Forget not following the patriarchy. Ooh, Z, you about to say it. Are y'all even following the matriarchy? Ooh, y'all so free will with it. Y'all so outside with it. Y'all are not even following the matriarchy. Y'all are destroying your own lives. This is where KMS comes in and say they're stupid. Wait, what? You damn right the men are benevolent. Dr. Dunbar. You better cut it out before these brothers start getting mad at me. And Dr. Dunbar says, "We're women. You need us." Oh, look, yeah, look. Dr. Dunbar done set it off, y'all. No, Z, please, for the love of God, Z.
As a man, if you don't have house core job, don't look for a woman with house core job. And for the men that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three, and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn assistant. Know your place. Stop being contradicting and bow down. Cause I'm sick of it.
Shout out to Dr. Dunbar because Dr. Dunbar can hear from that Latina. I think she's probably Latina. That she's saying the same thing this black woman is saying. This sister is saying. She's saying the same thing. She's saying the same things. Huh? Well, damn. And the black the black toxic masculinist, there we go, says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I'm late. Women have consumption-based aspirations. Absolutely. And that goes back to what we were saying earlier about their aspirationalism and how it's really not anything to write home about. For most women, I would argue for most people, but especially the ladies, they don't, outside of, as the black toxic masculinist says, outside of hyper consumerism and showing off and stunting, it don't get much better than that for them. Huh? And we're gonna play that again because the young lady, she's saying a lot here. She is saying a lot here. And this is what it is. It's we're better, we're morally superior, right? And if the men do everything through violence, and look at where she was going with it: emotional violence, physical violence, this violence, everything that doesn't cater to their emotions is some type of violence. Everything that is not in lockstep with women like this and whatever they're feeling and thinking in the moment is some type of violence. Anything that makes them feel uncomfortable in the moment is some type of violence. They need to be able to brand anything as some type of violence or harm. Continuing.
It's nothing that your anger can do. Because if men wake up this morning, every single man, and say we want to take it 500 years backwards, when push comes to shove, lock up all the women, turn them to baby factories, whatever those ideas are, that's, men in the past did, we can actually do that, and
so
nobody
will
stop us.
So you're
if
proving
that
my
is what
point.
we want to do,
Exactly.
nobody is going to stop us.
Exactly.
Who would stop us?
Exactly.
Who would stop us?
Exactly.
However, where women have gotten to in 2026 is as of a result of men being considerate, because it's a natural law. The stronger will rule over the weaker.
They always revert back to violence, don't they? Every single time. We should be so lucky that we have the rights that we have because they are so benevolent that they allowed us to have these rights. They are so benevolent that only one woman dies every 10 minutes at the hands of a man, whether it's a romantic partner or a family member. They are so benevolent that only 167 of us are murdered every single day. They are so benevolent because it could be much worse. Ladies, it could be 1 every 2 minutes.
You look
or every
crazy.
5 minutes. It could be 300 women a day. But we should be so grateful that it's not worse. Because every single time we progress and move forward, they can take it away at whim by exercising violence against us. Right? It always goes back to violence. Proving our point that the patriarchy is held by sheer violence.
Let's pause right there. No, ma'am. What The fact that you can vote is held by sheer violence. The men, mainly white men, that want to bring y'all back to Handmaid's Tale, the reason that they don't do it, they don't even try to do it, is because of violence from the other men. It's because of the threat of violence. Y'all live in some la-la land where the threat of violence isn't always on the table, madam. It's always on the table across the goddamn multiverse. Violence is always on the table. Name the species on Earth that violence isn't on the table. Go ahead. Plants even do hostile takeovers, ma'am. What type of world? Violence is always on the table, ma'am, and that's if I go with your definition of violence. Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. And Afro Merchant says cap stats. Yeah, the stats are all the cap stats are full of crap because there's what 144. I just looked it up. 144 10 minutes in a day. So she said 160 some odd. Her numbers are off that. She said every 10 minutes. If it's every 10 minutes, then that would be around 140, 145 women are killed, deleted by a partner or some intimate partner, someone they know, a day. About 140, 145, maybe even 150. She said 160 some odd. Okay, yeah. So we know you lying. Huh? The issue here we have is you see women like this and they're so adamant, but their real issue is that they're XX chromosome and not XY. Madam, it's not my fault that I'm XY chromosome. And more than likely, unless you train, I'm stronger than you, faster than you, more than likely taller than you, smarter than you. Ma'am, that's what can the men do? Oh, the men need to be bought to heal. Yeah. I didn't even have to finish that question. What can the men do about that? Huh? Now, Mr. Z doesn't do this. I don't use the term penis envy when it comes to the ladies, even the extreme feminists, the insane feminists. I don't even say it. This though, this is penis envy. If you want to know what penis envy look like, this is what it sound like. This is what it look like. Huh? This is what penis envy look like and what it sound like. The men are stronger than us. It's not fair. Huh? What the man was stating was a fact. The men could, if we wanted to, turn this clock right back around. And it wouldn't take us a calendar. It wouldn't take a week. It wouldn't take a week. What he's saying is the men aren't as barbaric as you're saying. And he said, and your response is, it always comes down to violence. You damn right. We wouldn't have to debate it. That's his argument. It wouldn't be a debate. It wouldn't be a conversation. Huh? And dear ladies, we could get to your neck before you get to that weapon. We could get to your neck before you get to that weapon. He's stating a fact, ma'am. Huh? You damn right. Huh? Y'all so damn comfortable, y'all forgot how y'all got comfortable. Violence. And Eric Deadman says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I did not forget about that 20 up there. Eric says, Western women are so protected that they have no idea how the world really works. Violence is always on the effing table since humans evolved. And that's it. Women don't even appreciate, and women like this, I mean, women don't even really appreciate the only reason y'all don't have boars, tigers, lions running through up and down the street, dogs biting y'all up, all up, monkeys ripping y'all hair out, is because of violence. Depending on where you live on planet Earth, the only reason you don't have wild animals running up and down the street is because of violence. But y'all are so whimsical about it. Huh? The women, the men that want to do women harm, even after the socialization, the men that want to do women harm, even after the education system, the men that want to do women harm, even after the entertainment, the men that want to do women harm, even after the way their parents raised them, the men that want to do women harm, even after how their teachers taught them. The only thing that keeps them from doing it is other men and what other men will visit upon them. The violence, the predators that predated on children. Ask them how their their prison sentence went. Ask them. Ask. It's the violence, ma'am. It's just insanity. Everything you can think of, at least on planet Earth, huh? Absolute insanity. It's always violence. Wait, what? Continuing, we're gonna play her one more again because I love this clip.
It's nothing that your anger can do. Because if men wake up this morning, every single man, and say we want to take it 500 years backwards, when push comes to shove, lock up all the women, turn them to baby factories, whatever those ideas are, that's, men in the past did, we can actually do that, and
So
nobody
will
stop us.
So you're
if
proving
that
my
is what
point.
we want to do,
Exactly.
nobody is going to stop us.
Exactly.
Who would stop us?
Exactly.
Who would stop us?
Exactly.
However, where women have gotten to in 2026 is as of a result of men being considerate, because it's a natural law. The stronger will rule over the weaker.
They always revert back to violence, don't they? Every single time. We should be so lucky that we have the rights that we have, because they are so benevolent that they allowed us to have these rights. They are so benevolent that only one woman dies every 10 minutes at the hands of a man, whether it's a romantic partner or a family member. They are so benevolent that only 167 of us are murdered every single day. They are so benevolent because it could be much worse. Ladies, it could be 1 every 2 minutes or every 5 minutes. It could be 300 women a day. But we should be so grateful that it's not worse, because every single time we progress and move forward, they can take it away at whim.
It's at will, ma'am. It's at will. They can take it away at will. Yeah. You mixed off a whim with at will. I get it. I get tongue-tied and phrases mixed up too. Anyway, moving along. And this is a really good comment from Earl. And Earl says, there's irony in their taste conflicting with the complaint about dimorphism. Exactly. The further you are away from the air quotes feminine as a man, the more the women want you. Ain't that something? The more facial hair, the more muscular, the stronger the jawline, the taller, the more you're distant from that female ideal. More svelte, more feminine features, bigger breasts, clearly, right? More shapely, more hourglass. The more the further the distance you are from that as a man, the more women tend to be attracted to you. Ma'am, how do you explain that? The more you seem capable of violence, the more the women are attracted to you. Ma'am, how would you explain that? The the broader the chest, the larger the arms, the bigger the stature. How would you explain that, ma'am? Huh? Yeah. And this is really what we're debating right now. And Alher Balamucho says women and men are both capable of virtue and vice. And there's this talk, and this is what happens when they like take intersectionality and they just stretch it as far as it could go. No pun. As far as it could go, and they take it to territory it just is not meant for. But they're using it to try to bludgeon you with some type of like moral superiority argument, and like a more humane and more we're just more conscious beings and we care about these things more. So they try to bludgeon you with that. They try to bludgeon you with that, with this y'all are more violent and no, yawn. Men have more vices, or when men engage in their vices, it's a more of a detriment to folks because of men's impact. And like that's their argument. Right. Oh man. And let me read this. And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Detroit says, good. Let's keep it that way. I think you meant to say it. Keep it the way, Z. I mean, she can distract all day, every day. I like to congratulate United States for making up that propaganda, to making themselves as useless as a useless tools. Let's keep it up. Yeah, no, I don't think that's exclusively a woman thing. But making yourself essentially a useless tool where your greatest dreams and aspirations in life is to, live a life of complete and total leisure, and where you do as you will, and there's nothing that's demanding of your time, of your attention, of effort, of you having to lift a finger. If this is your greatest aspiration in life, is to essentially be allowed to essentially be just there, just breathing, right? And like everything you do is to be a consumer at the highest level of the highest air quotes quality of things. You're just a consumer of the highest quality of things and goods and services the world has to offer. And I would argue that there definitely are some men, but this is definitely the domain of women across the developing and developed world, but definitely America, that you have a large contingent, most women who their greatest aspiration is just to be the like epitome of a woman of leisure. A woman of leisure, like this is the dream. I want to be a woman of leisure. This is the dream. Huh? To be absolutely useless. All they do is go to the mall and shop and buy luxury goods to show off to other women. And they drive a luxury car. We're not in the era anymore where people are talking about limos and being in a limo and being chauffeured around. Right? So they get into their luxury car, probably luxury SUV. Shout out to Rolls Royce, the Cullinan, or some type of Lamborghini Urus, or maybe even the Ferrari Parasangue for them, those of them that even know that exist. the Aston Martin DBX and all different the Rolls Royce. I mean not Rolls Royce. The Mercedes Benz GLS Maybach, BMW X7 maybe, right? The Brabus Benz G wagon. So they want these multi six-figure SUVs, all of them starting around, or the sorry, if you want to do American, then you're doing the Escalade V, right? So all of these SUVs are starting around the $200,000 mark that I listed. All of them. None of them are cheaper than 200,000. No, maybe one of the Range Rovers, maybe. But I think the Range Rover Sport Signature, whatever the hell, I think even that's about 200,000. So there you go, 190 or something like that. And this is their goal: driving one of those SUVs, pulling up to a mansion or at the least a McMansion. Maybe they're serious city dwellers, so they want to pull up to some, condo up in the sky somewhere in Manhattan, right? And like this is the dream, and that's all they want to do, and travel and be on somebody's private jet, preferably their own. It's not a way to live, where everything is just complete ease. There's no friction in life. There's no difficulty. Toya said, shout out to Aventura Mall. I see them. I see them in the mall. I see it. Aventura Mall is not too far from Z. I see them. Huh? Holding their bag on their wrist and just yawn. Man, this is the goal. And Detroit said, yes, let's congratulate. Let's congratulate. I think I know what you're saying. Let's give congratulations to the influencers putting a neutral aspect of life to making them bad influencers. Yeah, well, most of these influencers are crap. Black Guru says, some black men might want to be bums, but it seems a majority of black women feel entitled to be lazy bums. I think so. Let me say this to that. I think we're reaching like a civilizational peak right now, where the dream and the aspiration for the XX chromosome across the developing world, the developed world and the developing world, is to be a lazy bum, but they like to call that a woman of leisure. Excuse me. I think the ideal woman, I think it splits into two, and sometimes it gets back to one. Z, you sound insane, I know. Where she's either super boss babe, borderline Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, something or another, Elizabeth Warren or something, right? Fannie Willis or some odd, right? She's either that, RBG or name 'em, right? Or she's Sex in the City. Was that Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada? Something like that, like some type of that. Or she's just like the stay-at-home girlfriend. Y'all notice Mr. Z didn't say wife, right? Or mother. She's the stay-at-home situationship. We won't even give them girlfriend. She's the stay-at-home situation, and she has not a care in the world. She wakes up midday. She pours she has a glass of wine poured for her. She has breakfast in bed with breakfast in head, given to her, by the way. She's just a complete woman there's not a single thing to worry about in her life other than what clothes she's gonna pick out to wear to go shopping for more clothes. Right? Like, this is the goal. To not need or want for nothing. Ever. No friction, no difficulties ever in life. Right? So yeah. No, I think that's a thing. I definitely think that's a thing. And Black Guru says, even the most so-called boss babes are pretty lazy, especially when compared to their male peers. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Afro Merchant says, stay-at-home situations or situation. SAHS. Yes. Right? Yeah. Wait a minute. Ooh. All hell Balamuccio with the alliteration and with a good one. He says, gilded girlies. Put that in the book. Gilded girlies. Not gilded era, gilded girlies. Not gilded era 2.0, the gilded girlies. And that's exactly what they want to be. That's exactly what they want to be. Perfect. Gilded girlies. Now that's a word. That's a word. And Toya says, and that's why calling them independent is asinine. Exactly. Oh man. And Zulu says, Z, I have no way exactly what they're talking about. And asking a woman like that, or like his cousin, he's saying, like my cousin, all she does is sit around, makes you work 1 day a week. Does she only work 1 day a week? She's able to survive off of 1 day a week of work? That's craziness. All right. But on that note, y'all, so shout out to the members. The members got a stream earlier. Shout out to everyone else. Y'all got a stream. And both of these streams was long as hell. Z, did you actually do what you needed to do today? I actually did. Believe it or not. Time management, everyone. I was reckless earlier. Don't put it in the comments. I wasn't reckless for this stream. Well, not for the vast majority of this stream. I wasn't reckless. Once again, don't put it in the comments. And yes, we did what we needed to do today, right? And we got other things to do later on today, right? So yeah, time management, everyone. Time management, right? And Toy says, thanks, Z. No, thank all of y'all for listening, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I stole that from somebody else. I don't know who I stole it from, but I took that from somebody else. I don't remember who. Right? But yeah, everyone. So shout out to the replay gang. Thank you, button, hype button, please and thank you. So we'll pause right here. Oh, let me read this from Telescope real quick. He says, in a zero gravity environment, we all turn to mush, right? Right. And so once again, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. It's the start of the week. It's a Monday. And Mr. Z out. We gonna do things. We got errands to run and things to do. And yeah, I gotta go fuss some people out about this goddamn storage unit. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day.
You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.